Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're unpacking a raw, deeply motivational framework that tackles something every single one of us faces, bouncing back from rock bottom. You know, when you're trying to figure out how to navigate life's inevitable roadblocks, it really helps to just cut through the noise and look directly at the actual mechanics of resilience. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We'll break down the structure of hardship, the ultimate power of your own choices, and the one massive realization that's going to drive you forward. Let's get right into it. Time doesn't stop. When we're deep in the trenches of our own struggles, it kind of feels like the whole world should just hit pause, doesn't it? Like everything should just freeze so we can finally catch our breath. But the text captures this harsh yet completely necessary reality. Time relentlessly marches on, even when we're completely stuck in our pain. The clock just keeps ticking. Life goes on all around us, totally indifferent to the personal storms we're weathering. And really, wrapping your head around this is the absolute foundation of taking back control of your own story. Section 1. The reality of hardship. Universal struggles. So hardship takes some very specific forms. We fall. We lose someone we love. Or, maybe most terrifying of all, we lose ourselves. You know, like pouring your entire identity into a career, and then suddenly you're laid off, leaving you wondering who you even are without that title. The author openly acknowledges that it is 100% human to dwell on the pain of these moments. When life hits you like that, you're gonna hurt. You're gonna feel lost. And the text isn't asking you to just pretend everything is fine. Acknowledging that you're in pain, that you've fallen, or that you're grieving, well, that's step one. But the real game changer happens in what you decide to do next. Because despite all of that heavy stuff, the author insists on this incredibly powerful truth. The choice to get back up belongs entirely to you. Since time didn't stop for you, the text urges you to make the active choice to keep living. And we don't just mean surviving, we mean genuinely living, having fun, spending time with the people you love. Now I know, when you're in the middle of a serious hardship, the idea of having fun sounds literally impossible, right? But interestingly, behavioral psychology actually shows that experiencing brief moments of positive emotion during chronic stress speeds up your physical and emotional recovery. So having fun isn't a luxury. It's practically a biological necessity for resilience. You've got to actively choose to plug back into life. And that brings us to a really critical pivot point, dealing with the fact that, hey, we're human. We make mistakes. The easier route is side A, letting those mistakes totally define who you are, just slapping a permanent label on yourself. But the text is fiercely advocating for side B. You have to learn from those slip-ups and use them to show everyone where you truly are. Look, you can't be in a genuine relationship, whether that's with other people or just with yourself, unless you choose this path of learning and authenticity over constantly beating yourself up. You just have to be you, flaws and all, if you want to truly connect. Section 2. The key is you, your internal engine. The key to everything in life is you. It's such a simple sentence, right? Yet it carries so much weight. The text is reminding you right here that you are phenomenal. You are strong. Even when you are deep in the trenches of that pain we talked about earlier, even when your own brain is actively trying to convince you that you're weak or just not enough, the fundamental truth doesn't change. You hold the key. The external world is absolutely going to throw curveballs at you, but the internal engine that powers your recovery, that is entirely in your hands. So how do you actually pull yourself out of the abyss? Well, step 1 is surprisingly literal. Take a second to look in the mirror. Truly confront yourself. Step 2, take stock of how far you've already come. I mean, think about it. You have survived every single bad day you have ever faced. You're still here. Recognizing your own track record demands that you give yourself some real credit for your resilience. Why tap out now when you've already covered so much ground? And that leads perfectly into step 3. Anchor yourself to the future. Never, ever give up hope.
Section 3. Your one life. The big picture.
Here, the text really accelerates into this incredible rhythm of just pure defiance against failure. Never give up hope, never give up on yourself, never place limits on yourself. The author is emphatically hammering home the message that you can go as far as you want to go. Honestly, the only thing holding you back is the artificial limits you're placing on your own potential. Once you tear those limits down, once you firmly refuse to give up on yourself, the whole trajectory of your life changes entirely. Now, the crucial point the author makes right before the end isn't some toxic positivity fantasy about an easy road. No, the text flat out tells us it's going to be hard. It is absolutely going to test your limits. But instead of framing that as a negative, it's framed as an opportunity. When your limits are tested, that is the exact moment, the ultimate stage, to show everyone what you're made of. It's your chance to prove that you are strong and that you will overcome it all. The hardship isn't there to break you, it's literally just the venue where you get to prove your strength.
Which brings us to a single, solitary number: 1. This is the ultimate, incredibly sobering realization that snaps everything we've just talked about into sharp, undeniable focus. We only have one life. Just one. You don't get a practice run, and you sure don't get a do-over. Every hardship, every single mistake, every fleeting moment of joy, every time you choose to get back up, it is all happening right now within the boundaries of this one precious life you've been given.
And the text leaves us with this final, echoing question. We know time doesn't stop. We know we only have one life. So how are you willing to spend that time? Are you going to spend it stuck in the pain, letting your mistakes define who you are? Or are you going to get back up, look in the mirror, recognize your incredible strength, and actually live fully? The choice is 100% yours. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Take this question with you today and make your next move count.